The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for attending today's webinar. I'm Courtney Matlick, and for those of you that don't know me, I work in sales and business development for Stahl's cad-cut Direct. For today's webinar, we're going to be talking mostly about decorating apparel and garments for weddings using a heat press and a vinyl cutter mostly. But in the beginning, I will touch on a transfer technique that I think creates a really great design for the upcoming trends. As many of you may have noticed with the initiation of the royal wedding, wedding season is definitely well into bloom. I am lucky enough to currently be planning 2 weddings for my sisters this summer. So in the midst of all the dress shops and the party planning, it occurred to me that there's really a ton of opportunities to heat print for weddings. So that's basically where I got the idea for this webinar, because I think it's definitely a market that a lot of apparel decorators are missing. So we'll start today by showing you some new trends and designs for wedding, and then I'll give you the cost of what it's going to charge you, what you should charge and what it will cost you to create these designs. Now, before we get started, we have 2 quick polls that we're just going to go ahead and get out of the way, and then we can sit back and enjoy the webinar. So, Allison, if you could please launch the first poll. Just a quick yes or no on whether or not you're decorating for weddings.
Okay, Courtney, I'm going to close the poll, and I'll share the results.
Okay.
21% of the audience attendees today are decorating for weddings, and 79% are not.
Oh, okay, perfect. Just as I suspected, there's a lot of missed opportunity there. Now, for those of you that are decorating for weddings, we do have a poll just to see how you guys are decorating it and how you're planning on decorating for this market as well. So you can just select all that apply as far as what type of equipment you're using to decorate with.
Okay, I'm going to close the poll. And we have 31% are screen printing, 58% are decorating with embroidery, 81% using a vinyl cutter, 42% color laser printer or copier, and 85% are using a heat press.
Oh, well, perfect. Basically, we're going to be using the vinyl cutter mostly for this presentation, so looks like the majority of you will be able to directly relate to this. For those of you that aren't, the design ideas can obviously be carried over into embroidery, screen printing, and we also have a quick technique with a laser copier as well. So we'll go ahead and let you guys sit back and relax, and we'll get started into the presentation. Since this is actually themed something old, something new, I thought it would be a good look for us to take a quick glance at kind of the old designs of the past, and so we know what we're up against when we're decorating for weddings and apparel. Now, in the past, these designs have typically been embroidered or they've been screen printed in mass quantities, bride, bridesmaids, in a basic font, on a plain unisex everyday t-shirt, and that's just kind of been how people have done it, just to get a quick customized shirt out the door for a bride who might want a shirt with her title on it. In today's world, that's kind of changing a little bit. We're looking for more of a customization. Women want to stand out on their wedding day, as it is, you know, the biggest day of their life. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to them, and they want to make sure that it's personalized and specialized just like the day itself. So something new has came along, and it's been the customized, personalized garments for not only the bride herself, but her bridal party, for the actual event. There's tons of opportunities with all the events that now surround weddings, from bridal showers to bachelor parties to bachelorette parties to honeymoons to, I mean, the list goes on and on. They'll figure any type of event out for a wedding, you know, just to kind of, I guess, increase the cost. But heat printing allows you to customize and personalize for this market, just because it's inexpensive for doing one-off garments, and you can really, you know, position yourself within this market by being able to give them something special and something that's the best. Also adding glitz and glamour, some glitter, some foils, some patterns. That's very popular in today's market, just as it is with the actual wedding day. Any garment they have that's going to be specialized for weddings should have the same glitz and glam as the actual day. Accessories are also a great opportunity, and that kind of an added bonus for the brides. Everybody knows on the day of the wedding there's many things that a bride must carry along with her, from the church to the reception, you know, shoes, makeup, all those type of bridal essentials that can be easily carried in a cosmetic case that says bride, or tote bags, flip-flops for the reception after the ceremony. The possibilities for accessories, once you get the initial sale, are truly endless with this market, and that's something that I think you know, we need to look past as well. Getting into some of the designs, as I mentioned in the beginning, we were going to touch on a technique with a laser copy printer, laser printer, and our exact print laser transfer foil. The reasoning I chose to show this design first is basically, I think it really adds the trendiness of how the market's really changed for bridal wear. Bridal showers are one of those traditional things that are kind of the first main event, and that's kind of how I created this shirt for it. In the past, you know, many people have came to bridal showers dressed up in what you would consider church clothes, and in the future, and now and in the future, that kind of has changed. My sister recently had a bridal shower with well over 100 people invited, and having shirts like these are really great so that guests are able to identify, you know, who's involved in the big day and learn their names and kind of just get familiar with the bridal party at these large events. Now, when you're selling these garments to your customers, you can also easily remind them that these shirts are great for bachelor parties, rehearsals, wearing them for getting ready on the big day. I mean, these shirts are not just a one-hit wonder. When you're making them somewhat generic like this, they can wear them for any event surrounding that big day. Now, to create this artwork for this design, I had actually created two separate designs. The first is the bride lettering that you can see very boldly on the large picture. The second is the date that I had customized the bride design in, and I customized that design using our foil as well. So I'll just show you a quick video of how we were able to accomplish this look, and then we'll get into what I would charge and what it would cost you to make this design. Getting started, you can see what I've loaded on here. I can do a quick pause. Is actually my scrap shirt. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to take a scrap piece of fabric, a cotton. I know some of you might have attended a webinar a few weeks back on decorating with foil, and this technique was shown, but just in case you missed it, I want to kind of reiterate how we were able to create this look. So what I'm doing is taking one of my two designs, the one with the, it's going to be the pattern, it has a date in it, and I'm going to press it on my scrap shirt. Basically, I'm doing this to create a template for my garment that I'm actually going to be selling. Exact print applies at 300 to 30 degrees for a firm pressure in 30 seconds. You can peel it after about 7 to 10 seconds. For here, I waited about 8. Now you can see the carrier comes off clean, and we're left here with the number print pattern. I'm going to overlay a piece of foil, the foil that I'm going to want to be a little bit. So I will actually feel cold. So I set up until I pull my template off, and I can start to press my foil shirt that I'm going to keep. I'm using a bit of a smaller platen, so I lay my shirt sideways. This will give you guys a chance to be able to see how easily it's able to kind of pull off. I'll bring my garment again.
Courtney.
And I'll take this flat design that I want left on the shirt.
Courtney, we're having some real audio issues. Can't hear you.
Is that better?
That's better. You were cutting in and out.
Oh, that's no problem. I can kind of catch back to where we were. So basically what I'm doing is putting my design that I'm going to want on my shirt, and I'm going to heat press it again as I press this scrap shirt for 330 degrees, 30 seconds, and a peel after about 7 to 10. You can see again how cleanly it's able to come off from the exact print paper. If I can just pause it here, you can see how where the pink is exactly where the design is. And this is what's great about this exact print transfer paper. If you haven't had a chance to actually see it or experience it, it's no weed, no trim. It just comes off clean like that. And that's what allows us to do this foil technique. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off my template so much from my scrap shirt. And what I want to keep is this outer foil. The shirt I can throw aside. It's not really needed. So I'll lay the foil with the numbers down over the design. Just line it up so that it covers the entire thing. This is something that you would definitely want to set up in your software. Do it for about 10 seconds here, and then I'll be able to peel it after it's cooled down. And you can see what's leaving holes, and actually it looks nice like this if you just want to do a one-color design because you can still see the date. So basically, I can take where the gaps are of where the ink from the transfer paper is showing and inlay my red, and it'll pick up whatever did into here too. We'll do about 10 seconds on the red foil, let it cool down, and then once it's completely cold, I can peel the red foil back at. To give you an idea there, zoomed in, about how nice the garments actually look. Now, to charge for something like this, total cost on a nice fit V-neck tee like this, which the shirt is a great start as well. You want to make sure it's something that's going to fit to the woman's body. This is something she wants to look attractive in for her wedding event. So the garment as well is a nice addition. Now, it would cost you about $7 to make this shirt, which breaks into your 2 pieces of transfer paper, which, depending on the quantity, are roughly between 60 and 70 cents per sheet. Then you would consider in foil. You're using about 20 cents in foil for heat transfer foils to make this design. Another $1.50 of labor, and a $4 shirt, and $7 for your cost for this shirt. Wholesale, you could sell this if you were looking to sell it to a mass amount of brides or something. You could sell it at $14. Retail, something like this could very easily be charged $20 to $25 for this design. Just give you a great idea of how you can actually charge your customers for this and where it would be in the market. Our next design is going to be for a bridal shower. Now, this design on the shot is going to actually be in a later shirt. So what I'm going to do is just kind of start the video, and we can kind of talk about how you would customize this garment for bridal showers. Now again, we're going to start with our vinyl cutting. For those of you familiar with this process, I'm using 2 different films. One is a fashion film, and the other is our glitter flake. I'm just going to quickly weed away the excess now that my designs have been cut. And the nice thing about fashion film is it cuts very small detail. So I'm able to easily customize it. It works well on women's clothing that have a soft matte finish to it. Just get out all my cavities in the glitter flake. You can see how easy even this special effect glitter flake kind of weeds for me. Now to heat apply this, I'm going to do my glitter first. And that'll be 15 seconds at 320 degrees. Like it cold, it'll just cool down with the eraser. You could easily put this aside and do that later. While I'm waiting for the bridesmaid design to cool, I'm going to cut apart my fashion film and apply it down. Now fashion film applies at 320 degrees for 20 seconds. Ultimately, I could heat press these two designs together. The only reason I really did it is because it's too close to the overlap with the marquee and you can switch making it specialized in the shirt with a bridesmaid name as well. You can have to do if someone wanted to customize, is stick a name on like I had done on the left corner of the shirt. Fashion film's also a warm peel, so we'll let it cool down a little bit before we do peel it.
Courtney, we're having trouble hearing you again. I don't know if you're moving.
Possibly.
We get some where it's really good, we can hear you, and then it cuts in and out.
I will try to stay center. Hopefully that gets a little bit better for you guys. I am just going to pause this design so you guys get a full look of how the design kind of looks on the shirt. The glitter flake is great because it gives a true glitter finish to the design. And I'll have a zoomed in shot later here in the webinar as we use glitter flake for another design. Now putting the name, like I said, in the left corner is great for kind of just putting it in an inconspicuous, fashionable spot. You could easily put the name kind of below the bridesmaid or, you know, on the back of the shirt if you really wanted to, but putting it there gives it a little something different, which is a nice little bonus. Now, if you were going to sell something like this, it would cost you about $5.50. You're looking at 23 cents in material, $1.80 in labor and overhead, $3.50 for the cotton fit tee, and you're looking about $5.50 for your cost. Wholesale, obviously, you would just double that and make it $11. You could also choose to retail this design easily for $18 to $20 with the glitter flake and the added elements of adding the name. You could easily charge $20 for a design such as this one. Go ahead and move on to the next big event, the bachelor party, you know, marking the last night of freedom for the gentlemen, or however people kind of position this evening. Now this design is a good example of how you could customize this shirt for the groomsmen or the best man or the groom himself. So there's no kind of confusion when they go out about who exactly should be embarrassed the most. Everybody knows this is the groom, this is his day, he's the one that should be getting most of the attention. So it's just a nice little play on the tuxedo that they'll be wearing for the actual ceremony. The shirt's keeping it still masculine, but still giving them a personalization element as well into the shirts. Now to create this design, it was actually quite easy to make it using our cadworkslive.com, which any of you that are familiar with stalls or use our products, this is free for you to use. I simply just created circles, triangles, and lines to simply create this design. It took a matter of minutes, and it was really easy to create something that looks pretty neat as well. All the designs also were created with our CADWorks Live program. So it's just something to keep in mind if you're not a design whiz. We do have that software available. Now to create a shirt like this, I'll go ahead and show you just as we weed and heat apply it to give you an idea of the size. I've already pre-cut all of my designs now. Since those of you are very familiar with the vinyl cutter, I kind of wanted to not bore you with that, stick to more of the design element of it. just to show you how easy, this is our sport foam light. It's very easy to weed. It does have a slightly sticky carrier, so if I mess something up, I could have put it back down. Of course I didn't. So you can see this design is rather large. You're looking about 13 inches high, and I think it's about 9 inches wide. Just position it to where, kind of where the bow tie would have fit on the shirt, a little higher than typical. And then we'll heat press it for 15 seconds at 320 degrees. And this is a warm peel, so we'll let it cool down a little bit. Then we can peel the carrier right off. And that's it. We have a completed garment. So you guys can see this easily took me 30 seconds to heat apply the design, another minute to weed it, because it's a very easy, simple to weed design with the clear cut lines. Cost-wise, to create a design like this, you're looking at a little over $5 as far as cost goes. A decent amount of that is in the material for the large size of the material. You're looking at about 69 cents in material for this design. You could wholesale this for about $11, and retail you could easily charge $18 to $20 for a design like this, no problem. It's on a nice fitted kind of luxe tee for gentlemen. It also has the personalization element, no problem. You can easily sell this for $20. Also sticking with customization, give you an idea of how you could easily custom for that night out. And for anybody who actually is going out for the night's festivities, they could easily wear this shirt. Now, they don't have to be a groomsman, or they could just be a friend, or anybody who's really going out. We customized it with the groom's name and the destination of his bachelor party. You could easily keep this as Last Taste of Freedom Tour and make it a generic shirt. And then when someone comes in to order, you could simply just take a couple, a minute of your time just to hurry up and stick his name and the date on the location. I also stuck a ball and chain on there, since that's the typical joke for getting married with men. So it's just a kind of way you could play on some of the design elements, which are huge with weddings. There's just a lot of things, the ball and chain, or shots. There's just all kinds of things you can play with when doing bridal wear for these type of occasions. Now, to create a design like this, just go ahead and show you a quick video, again, of how we were able to heat apply and weed it. Now, I set up the artwork for this design. You could easily save yourself some material cost and kind of gang the designs a little closer together. I, however, kept them apart to where they were whenever I created my artwork, so I could easily position them the way I wanted to. Go ahead and weed again. This is our sport film light material, so it's very soft and matte finish. It's really great on these kind of t-shirts, so we'll just finish weeding out our cavities. And you can see I was even able to do this chain on the ball and chain with the sport film light as well. So pull all the extra cavities out. Be ready to heat apply. And since this design, again, overlaps, I am going to be heat applying it in 2 different applications. Now, if you wanted to, like I said, make this design up generic and just add the name or the location, you could easily do this all in one step and then come back in later and do the second step with the same material. Again, for sport foam light, just to remind you guys, it is 15 seconds at 320 degrees and a warm peel. So we're just going to peel it warm. Now, if they wanted to kind of specialize this shirt, just to keep in mind as we're applying down our second color of the sport foam light for the next 15 seconds, I just want to keep in mind that You could easily customize this back of the shirt as well if they did want to identify who the groom was, who the groomsman was, and you could easily say for an extra $1 we'll add groom on the back, and that could cost you 30 cents in material to do a large text on the back. So here we have another completed garment. You can see how nice the shirt looks on a garment kind of dipped and dyed shirt. Now these kind of shirts, again, are a little bit more of a premium price for these shirts. Being able to sell a premium garment makes it worth putting a nice design on the shirt. You know, you don't want to put ketchup on a steak. It's just how it goes. So if you're going to put these nice thin fabrics or the glitters and the foils that I'm using in this presentation, you definitely want to have a nice garment to go with it. Now the cost for a shirt like this is a little over $7. The main cost comes from the nature of the shirt, obviously. The shirt is about $4.50 for this design. You're looking again at about 70 cents in material. You know, add $1.50 in for your labor time for this, and it'd be about a little over $7 for your cost. Retail, you could easily retail this design for $25. If you want to, you know, give a low-cost option for $20 as you're kind of entering in the market. But once you establish yourself, I really think you'll be able to kind of sell this more at $25, even $30, because it's such a nice premium look. I've also customized design for the bachelorette of the crew. Now this shirt kind of, again, does the same thing our bachelor shirt did. I used two different materials, the fashion film for the blue and the black part of the design, and I used our glitter flake to create a nice ring design on here as well. Now I'm using a very thin, kind of washed out burnout tee for this, and I'm actually applied this in two different steps. So what I did is I put down the black design first, and then I came back over with the blue accents and the ring since they had applied at the same temperature. You could easily, you know, take the name off or change the destination of their bachelorette party. On the back of the shirt, I did customize it with a bridesmaid as well, and you could easily put the bridesmaid's name or just the title of the maid of honor on the back of the shirt for, again, if you wanted to charge an extra $1 for identification of who's actually in the bridal party, you could offer that option as well. It would cost you about $6 to make this design once you factor in the cost of the shirt, the materials, the glitter flake, and then you can easily retail this shirt for $25 again, $20 to $25, just like we did for the regular bachelor party design. As I had mentioned in the beginning, accessories are a huge option for decorating once you either land the business or just as an add-on sale. This is a great idea of an add-on sale, as undoubtedly this tote will be carried around through all the wedding day events. Basically what I started is with a 100% canvas tote, and I'm using our cad-cut glitter flake and the fashion film material again on this tote. Now to heat apply this, as I'll show you quickly, I just weeded the two designs, and I did gang up the blue designs and just cut them apart for my heat application. So I'll go ahead and weed the glitter flake. Just want to show you guys how easy kind of glitter flake is to weed once you can see the cut lines. That's kind of the trade-off for something with that blingy, shiny, sparkly finish. As I weed the fashion film, just finished getting my cavities out of here, and then we'll be able to cut apart the designs and heat apply them. Now keep in mind, the interesting thing about all of these designs is they've really, I've customized for an entire bridal party using the same 5 colors and really the same materials as well. So you really don't have to keep a ton of different materials to create all of these looks into your shop. You can kind of just have 4 basic colors and a glitter flake, and be able to create all of these designs. First I'm going to heat apply my basic design, which is the glitter flake. And you can kind of see even on the video how how much shine that glitter flake kind of has. And I did zoom in on it on the PowerPoint. You guys will get to see. But the nice thing about glitter flake is it gives that real glitter finish, almost as if you were actually sticking glitter specks on a shirt or on a bag. So it kind of gives you the bling of the ring that everybody wants. Again, it's a cold peel for glitter flake. And then I'm going to trim apart the Future and Mrs. Angel off of my design. Just line them up. I'm going to put the Future kind of going the same direction that the ring, the diamond on the ring is going. Now the cool thing about adding the name onto this kind of bag is that it lets everybody know that this is the bride's bag. And instead of just putting this is Karen's bag, there's always a big infatuation with getting married and being able to use your husband's last name. And so adding this is who she's marrying and this is who she's going to become is kind of just an added bonus, just something that is really nice to add on. You can see how easily fashion film kind of pulls off the carrier, and that matte finish gives a nice contrast against the glitter flake. Now the best thing about using this design as an upsell item is kind of the profit margin you can make on it. Tote bags are an inexpensive item to decorate. You're looking at about $1.50 to purchase this plain canvas tote bag. You add in your cost of your material with the added glitter flake and the larger design. You could easily retail this for a $20, $18 to $20 upsell, which is a nice add-on sale to your current t-shirt you might be selling the bridal party or the large amount of shirts that you're selling to them. It's just something to keep in mind. There's always a ton of additional items that you guys can decorate for weddings. In my blog posts following up this webinar, I will kind of go into more elaborate everyday accessories you can go into the wedding day. Unfortunately, I can't fit them all in 45 minutes because there's just a ton. And then it'll give you a chance for you guys all to weigh in on what you might be decorating or what you might be planning on decorating after this webinar for the canvas totes. Our last design comes to the reception, the final event of the wedding day. Now here again, there's many opportunities, like I said, to customize favors like satin bags or gifts for the bridal party. We took a traditional play on receptions and took an event like the dollar dance. For those of you that may not be familiar with the dollar dance, basically what it is the guests at the wedding will line up to dance with the bride or groom and pay $1 for the dance, and it's kind of money that they would give to the bride and groom as they start their life together. Now the cool thing about this dance is some people play slow songs. My family here in Southwest Pennsylvania, we do a polka, so it's kind of very traditional. But at the end of the event, some type of gift or some sort of, maybe a piece of cake or whether it be a drink or something is handed out to the guest kind of as a thank you as they go through. And this could also be used as a favor as well for the guest attending the wedding. It's kind of a funny idea as it just simply says, I went to so-and-so's wedding and all I got was this lousy t-shirt, which is kind of just a play on how people feel about weddings. You could easily create this design or make it more elaborate with a transfer, and you can do it simply like this for cad-cut materials for a low-cost option. Now, I chose to use cad-cut materials simply because they're most cost-effective for this when doing this quick one-color design. And I'll just show you guys how easy it was for me to weed it and heat apply this design. To create this design, you're looking at less than 20 cents for material for the entire design. Let's get out all these little cavities, which you can see comes off quite easy from the carrier with this sport film light. And for this, I'm just using your basic cotton t-shirt, Hanes t-shirt. Nothing special about this. This is just going to be kind of a funny giveaway shirt. no sense in, bringing out the $4 shirts for something like this, since it's not really overly fashionable. Just position my design, and then again another 15 seconds. A warm peel, and you can see it really has only taken me 2 minutes maximum to do this shirt. I looked at about 30 seconds to a minute to cut it, 30 seconds to a minute to heat up, to weed it, and 30 seconds to heat apply it, and you've got a finished shirt. Now, something for this typically is going to cost you about $4 after the cost of materials, your labor, and the cost of the shirt as well. And you would typically sell this more of a wholesale item, since you're probably going to be selling, more than just 1 or 2 of these. You would typically probably have maybe 50 or 100 of these type of shirts. But you could wholesale these for about $10 to $12 a piece. And again, it's just a great addition. Once you're already selling to the bridal party and you're already selling for all these events, you can kind of say, well, why don't you add this as a reception favor, as actually my sister's going to do as well for the upcoming weddings we have this summer. So it should be a great sell for you guys to kind of show this to your customers. So that is going to conclude today's webinar. I want to thank you guys all for joining us. Keep in mind we do have some webinars coming up, one about heat presses and kind of where they're going and where they came from. That'll be on Thursday. And we actually have a great new exciting webinar for a cad-cut coming up June 7th, so you guys have to wait a little while for it. But we're going to be unlocking the potential of a new heat-applied ultimate film here called Premium Plus. So something you definitely would want to all attend. Allison, do we have any specific questions I might have missed or anything you're wondering?
You covered everything fantastically. One of the biggest questions we had was everyone's curious to know where you purchased the splatter shirt, the garment dipped one.
The garment dipped one?
Mm-hmm.
All of our shirts were purchased through alphashirt.com. So you were able to purchase that there.
Okay. And then Tyrone was asking on that last design that you did, the lousy t-shirt design, he was curious to know what size that logo was.
The logo on that shirt was about 11 inches wide and about 3 inches high. So it was a smaller shirt.
Okay, and let's see. Those were some of the biggest ones, the biggest questions that we had.
All right, great. Well, I thank you guys all for attending. Come back and join us for another one.
Okay, thanks, Courtney.